Happy Friday festivities. Before the Winter Carnival, we were just talking about this card, bit of a tricky card
It
that we
is.
had to get through here on Friday. Keith, let's take a look at the track, but how was your week overall?
It's good.
Yeah.
Good. Celebrated the wife's birthday on Wednesday, which was good. So we were talking, headed up to the Greenmount Station.
Yeah.
I did with my buddy Action Andy, and
I
then we
love
went over
it.
to
Action Andy.
Fratelli's after that. Gina and I, we left it. Action Andy, he had to get back home, but no, it was a good week, and I'm ready. Yeah, Winter Carnival is ahead of us tomorrow with 6 stakes races, so lots of action. There's a slew of rematches from those stakes that were run
Yes.
on the 30th
Yes.
of December. Some horses trying to turn the tables. Some good rivalries developing though in some of those races. So, yeah, fast track today. Little breezy, little chilly out there.
It is a little chilly out there. We had some rain yesterday here in town. I know you live a little bit further north, but
Yeah.
I was surprised that we had a fast track for today with the rain that was kind of popping in and out
Agreed.
all over Laurel here yesterday. But again, a nice fast track to kick off the early pick 5, of course, 12% industry low takeout on that. And it starts in this claiming 40,000, which have never won 2 for the 4-year-old fillies, a 1-turn mile. Keith, you land on Omis Maisel, who takes the inside position because the 1 Sweet Talked is a scratch. I did have Sweet Talk in my picks, but that leaves you with Omis Maisel. I have her in my exacta, Horacio de Paz, Angel Cruz. Last time we saw this one going the 1-turn mile on a track with moisture in it, that was a nice effort.
Yeah, hard to separate the 2 and the 3 realistically. What were
Really?
they separated by? As maybe a length last time.
Right.
Mrs. Mazo went out there and went ahead and set the pace. Vodkatini a little move into it. They battled. It's come. She's a Rolling Stone. Took advantage of that little battle and rolled on past, but came back to run a big effort. 78 next time out. I really can't split these two. I need a better break. I mean, a good break today from this two from the inside post of the mile. It's a tricky spot to come out of there. Hopefully she doesn't have to be used too hard. I like how her figures are going forward. Flimsy kind of, I think we'll draw a lot of play here for Grand Motion. Going to go first time tag. He's 17% with this move with his dirt runners. She hasn't been seen since November. Will she have enough punch to get past these horses? Your deeper closer, Red Wine Time, your 7 horse that you've got in there. Has some issues out of the gate. Left lead running a little bit, but if things get hot and heavy up front, and would love to see that, might roll on past. But the 2 and the 3, I think they can kind of go ahead and set a moderate pace and just kind of take that battle from the top of the stretch to the wire.
And we'll find out what happens in about 57 minutes when the gates open for that first race of Friday racing here in Maryland. Keith Fusel goes through 3, 5, 7. And Keith, also, you have a pick 4 lined up for us coming up in starting in race number 2. How do you play it?
Yeah, this race is a spread 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. I really couldn't land on anybody specifically in there. Scratch the 1, Dynamite Duke, who was going to be on that ticket as well. Scratch the 2, Believe in Rock and Roll, which was going to be the main speed, but comes out. So kind of enhances the chances. This 5 Jebster is pretty quick. Race 3, 2 deep with the 6 and the 7. Race 4, we've got a single. The Calora Kid drop for Jamie Ness getting Lasix. Race 5, 3 deep with the 2, 3, and 9. So there you go.
There we go. $15 ticket for Keith Fusel that starts in this second race's claiming $10,000 event, which have never won 2, going the 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, however, you go 4 wide, but we both land on the number 7, the last skip. That's a bit of my price play. It's my first price play of the day today. Mikey Durales, J. Ron Barbosa gets back to a bit more of a reasonable level after that maiden breaking score at Laurel Park.
Yeah, I was shocked to see, respect the barn, no doubt.
Right.
And the owner trainer combo, the jock, and everything. But man, for this horse to be bet down like that, which makes me think I might have this one line too high. 5 certainly will come down a little bit with the scratch of the one who was going to take some play.
Right.
Just got a little discombobulated, a little bobble out of the break, a little bobble down the backside, ran up on the heels of the leader, had to steady, and just was asked around the turn, stayed on, but just wasn't right from the 3/16s home. Kind of packed it in late, a little just protect move late by the jock. Looking at this field, I was hoping the 2 stayed in, Callie, because I thought that was going to offer maybe some serious speed for Jepster to move into and maybe get tangled in a duel. I think the last still should sit outside and stalk and move into it here on the drop on a high percentage barn. Very good. This barn on the drop the last couple of years, 4 for 11, 36% with this type of drop on the dirt.
There we go. There we have it. There is an unofficial Keith Fusel stat that he's got on the number 7, but you also have the number 6 underneath at a 20 to 1. I was fighting with this one on and off of my ticket as well. So go ahead and explain.
Okay.
But I think I see what you're seeing with Dijon for TJ Aguirre.
Well, smaller sample, okay, second off of this kind of break. This horse has shown a little bit more tactical speed in the past. Numbers do work. Anywhere close to his top puts him into the mix. And he just got a good kind of comeback race. The Overland trip on the 29th, a little belated action. I want to see this horse put into the race a little bit sooner. Just looking for that blow up in here because I am not really sold on anybody.
Why
Not
not?
a lot to trust in race number 2.
Exactly, and we're going to carry on to the third as Keith Fusel goes 7-6-3-9 and 4 wide in the start of that early pick 4 that starts in race number 2. Race number 3 is a claiming 12-5 going 8 furlongs, 1 turn mile on the
Okay.
dirt, 8 furlongs, whichever way you want to say it. Let's take a look. Actually, let's start with the stat
Okay.
that you've got on your top selection. One lasso. This is the official Keith Fusel stat of the day.
Yeah, and this is a value play for me. One loss. You've got, again, horses 2 to 3 now. The Lasix is going on. Don't want to be redundant, but I'm going to be for the first month or two until things kind of suss itself out. This horse that ran okay figures, a 43 buyer, second out, not awful, and ran against the right kind. Now, Gonzalez here with these routers, sprinter route, the 3-year-olds, this is pretty good. 22 of 78 in Maryland, 28% the last few years. 283 is your ROI. I just think, looking at the field, not a lot of true route experience. This horse coming back, maybe they said, okay, this horse was one that maybe needs Lasix. We're going to freshen this horse up. Comes back with a couple works leading into it. Breeding suggests should be able to kind of stretch it out a little bit. So there's a price user. May not get 12 to 1, may come down a little bit off of that, but I will be using an Exactus.
Why not? You also use the number 7 underneath
Yeah.
Dunder Boss, which we have a video on that effort with Brittany Russell. Of course, Brittany Russell, Toledo, just sitting off the pace. Here we go. Here's that replay from last time out.
Yeah, Dunder Boss, kind of with the grain of the racetrack. The 29th I had as a slightly dead inside, December the 29th. But got a little bit of a contested pace and just sat outside, relaxed. I like this rolling up move, a little sweep here, 3 and 4 wide to the quarter pole. And the key for me was, hey, she ran through the wire here. Straight and true, widens by 11. They're going to hold the level. Lasix going on. It's a deadly move here. 34% first-time Lasix, including the first-time starters with these 3-year-olds, is Brittany Russell. So powerful move here. Proven at 7/8. Gets a little bit extra ground here today. The eighth of a mile shouldn't be a problem. Now, Cocktail Dreaming could be the main speed. We'll see if
Yeah.
anybody can go with her, but Dunder Boss seems to be moving in the right direction as well. I'm going to key around the 6 and the 7 in exacta boxes. That's how
Okay.
I'll play this race.
Okay, all right. Very good. Keith Fusel goes 6-7-2-1. I go 1-7-2-5 there in the third. Race number 4. Oh, did you want to take a look
Nope.
at something?
Let's roll.
Okay, all right. Race number 4 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. And, of course, I got to take it lined up. Let's take a quick look at what we've got. 1-6 here in the opener in this claiming 12,000. Race number 5 and 6, I went in the maiden claiming 20, and then in the 6 in that starter optional 12-5. I think a couple of options in there. Why not? I go a bit 4 wide on that. Race number 7, I go 2 deep. Race number 8, I go 3 deep with the 1, 4, and the 8. And in the last, I do single in on the last, which I think is a bit of a risky move, but I go with Stronger Than Dex, Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez, a third off of the layoff. Might be a bit better, and again, gets down to a bit of a reasonable level amongst better friends today. But let's go ahead to this fourth event, this claiming 20,000, 6 furlongs on the dirt. Keith, you've got the number 6 on top. This is your best bet of the day. The Calora Kid for Jamie Ness gets Jaime Rodriguez, gets the drop down from the 42nd off of the layoff.
Yeah, and I tell you, if you went back to Monday's races, definitely the inside was the place to be in speed. So drawing out here, I'm a little concerned. Maybe he can kind of drop in. But a major excuse last time when he came out of the gate a little outward from that rail position, bumped another rival, tried to make a little run angled out, and just fizzled. Top of the stretch home. Another little protect move. We're going to drop. We're going to get Lasix on. Keys against the right kind recruiter, Johnny Z from Albany. Has some speed to target. Blame the Bourbon. We'll send away. Opened up quickly last time. I don't know if he's going to shake free as easily today with this horse just to his outside. Grand Escape is pretty quick here for Robbie Bale. So I'm going to take the 2 horses out of that December 17th race, the Calora Kid, Grand Escape, Calora Kid to Stalk and Pounce.
There we go. Keith Fustel, 6215 there for the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. Race number 5 is a maiden claiming 20,000, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 4 and 5-year-olds. Keith, you land on the number 2 Divided Union, scratching the 1 Flavian and scratching the 5 Love You Bye Bye. So leaves you with the rail horse Divided Union. First time out for Damon Deal DeVico, who's just been quite a bit on fire with that, with talking about first time Lasix and first time start as of late.
Yeah, patience. We've seen the barn with these type of runners in the past. 3-year-olds and up, the maiden first time. Well, the first time starters on the dirt, 27% over the last few years. Second Dam did win debut. We'll see. I'm a little concerned. There's a break in some works there from November 17th to the 22nd of December. We'll see what happens. Late to the race, and I have a rule of thumb. I had this horse originally picked third.
Okay.
I don't like picking first or second, ever. If you're good enough, you're good enough to win.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way I take it. And my original pick was the 1, Flavian. So I kind of default here in the Divided Union from that third spot. I got to vault him to the top. Some speed in here as well. Moses Water, Swift Dancer, both pretty quick. I don't know if either one will separate. We shall see. Maybe a slighter edge to Moses Water from the inside with that aggressive rider. I don't know. But I think Divided Union, well prepped. The percentages play in your favor.
Right.
But I think Bourbon on the Bay can make a big run from the back, shortening up.
Sure, why not? I'm curious what you don't like about the first timer for Brittany Russell with Kevin Gomez on Chasing Storms 9-2. What don't you like about this first time starter?
I just looking elsewhere in here. That's
Okay.
basically it. First foals, a little bit sluggish works. Not a lot to go on.
Right.
Spitzers are okay. First out, nothing to really light the world on fire. So just trying for a little bit better price. I mean, it's gonna come down off that 5-1 though with the 2, unfortunately.
Probably will. So Keith Fusel's got his answer. Why he goes a couple different directions there in the 5th, and we'll be right back to talk about the rest of Friday's card, precursoring tomorrow's Winter Carnival Stakes.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Welcome back. We're going to get down track to race number 6 in the starter optional, claiming 12.5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls 4-year-old and up. Scratching the 4, Honor Your Mother. Keith, you go with the number 6, No More Mask, for Joanne Schenkel, Thais Pustina. We've got a playback back from November 21st.
Yeah, we're gonna look at this race. A little trouble. I tell you, which race do we go to? No more. Yeah, my bad. A little trouble out of the gate. Yeah, the bobble. I was looking down at the PPs of Lady Jane.
Oh,
My fault. No. And No More Mask is able to kind of get position. But again, inside pretty good this day. The speed was good, and trying to make a move in a little bit better caliber horses, Callie. That was the key for No More Mask. 7/8 of a mile. Maybe a touch too far to her as well. But she makes an impact here. 3 wide, mid-turn, and just can't kick on from the top of the stretch. Think this race is a little bit easier than that group. A cleaner break, positional speed, because you're going to have to stay out honest. This 3-horse for Phil Capuano was quick. She looks like the speed of the speed, but I think No More Mask, she comes away well. She can hound that one and go on. But there will be a couple of horses kind of looking to close from the back of the pack, no doubt. This was a tricky race for me to get through race 6.
Well, speaking of horses closing in from the back, let's talk about the 7-horse Lady Jean for Carlos Sepulveda. Alexander Crispin has been coming off of the pace lately, but the last time you saw this one in the winner's circle earlier in Tampa, that was going to the lead. How do you think they're going to take the approach with this one?
Again, I looked at her race, Delaware, a couple races back behind Escape Fund and Award 1, and she may not have been on the best part of the track. I think she'll rate mid-pack. I don't think she's got quite the speed as a couple of these other horses in here, but she's freshened. She's got position. And again, there's Behind the Couch. There's Award 1. The right kind of horses you want to see at this level. Showing the ability to make a run into those, I think she can do it this afternoon. And for a barn that might slip away at an okay price.
You also include Stay Out at the Speed, but you also include the number 2, Little Miss Scarlet, for Claudio Gonzalez, coming back from that starter optional effort. Second off of the layoff, 23 for 88 lately. That's 26% lately, second after the layoff for the Gonzalez barn.
Obviously, 2 major excuses, the last 2 running lines, so it's a little bit dirtied up in there. A rider that's new here, so maybe that's going to help her value.
Sure.
Anywhere close to her best, and given that last race, little prep with some trouble, yeah, she can rally into it, and you might get 6, 8, 10 to 1 on her today.
Let's see. Let's hope. Here's hoping. I also include the 10 underneath for fun. But Keith, you've got 6, 7, 3, 2 for that 6th race that's going on. That starts doesn't start the late pick 5. We skimmed right past that late pick 4. Race number 7 is that starter optional 20, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Scratches of the 3 Momenski, which I had in my original picks, and scratch the 4 Pyeongchang. Leaves us both with number 5 anyway. Quick Tempo, Crystal Pickett. We've got to look back. Angel Cruz on last time out.
Yeah, December 31st, and Quick Tempo off the claim. Was a voided claim, 3 races back, dropped to the 8. This barn jumped in, got it, raises right up. So we were a little bit leery, right? 2 to 1. Any other kind of barn, this horse is favored. No doubt about it. But, hey, this horse responded, just ran off the screen here, going to win by open lengths. Big number, 92 buyer. I mean, remotely close to that. Again, he whistles against this field. He's an all-or-nothing type, though. I mean, you see some of this. There was a reason this horse went down. I mean, you're not going to give away horses that run 90 buyers, right?
Right.
You wouldn't think so. So there you go. Quick Tempo gets in a major assist with some of the scratches. The 4 and the 3 were going to be forward. Maybe some types that could have given him some trouble in the lead. The 1 intrigues me as a possible horse to rally into it. Semper Fi, the last couple have not been good, but on occasion he's been able to kind of jump up and rally into it. New barn. We'll see if that helps him and if he can close into this pace.
You also include the number 2 Aristocratic and the number 6 Top Boss for David Mohan, Bryson Butterfly. These 2 relatively team up pretty well with results underneath. So solid horses underneath. 5, 1, 2, 6. I go 5, 2, 6, 1. Keith Fustel there in the 7th. Race number 8 is an allowance optional, claiming 62.5, going the 5.5 on the dirt. The 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you've got Blow Through Yellow Lights, the number 4. Let's take a look back at this Brittany Russell and Javian Toledo winner on December 18th.
Yeah, she's going to have to move up a little bit, right? But I like the ability to come from off the pace that she showed. She'd been up on the front end of prior races, took a rating try here and just snuck through along the inside, and Balzarati looks maybe gone. But works a little bit of traffic. Yeah, just very patient.
Super.
Waiting. Now kind of said, no, I gotta hesitate there a little bit, 3/16. But fires on home to get it. So now we're going to go again. We talked about the stat with the 3-year-olds with the first Lasix and everything like that. Yada, 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 right? Hey, there's some speed in here, signed on. The visibility, I think, has got to go. We've got a new face in Tribal Queen. Even Comine might not be quite as fast. And Tap and Josie, I think, is going to be up with it. So this is the one that offers the value of the 2 Brittany horses, in my opinion. It's a protect move. So
I like it, and you just saw the mental uptick that she put out last time in that viewpoint. So again, Coal Mine, Tap and Josie. Let's talk about the 8 for a sec. What's your take on Tribal Queen? Because I did originally have Tribal. I originally had Blow Through Yellow Lights on top as well as you did, and I had pretty much everything in the same position. But then I decided to switch things up. I went on Tribal Queen to the outside only because this one gets. I just take the outside post approach. But what are your thoughts on this Tony Jetro starter?
Yeah, as Philly, you thought was going to have some serious talent. Took a lot of play-in debut in New York, so you're saying, okay, good enough there. Got to be plenty good enough here, you would think. Hasn't quite panned out, but again, shortening up Lasix going on. A real reach last time, but third off a little bit of a break. I think, again, should get a stalking to position and try to finish against this group. I think the real question mark is the 2, though, Tap and Josie. She was right up there off the pace, off the claim. Big time claim, 62,000 off a Rob. You claim off a Rob at your peril, right? That's a tough thing to do.
Yes.
Horse ducked out upper stretch, and then that was it. The reasoning, we don't know why. Is back on Lasix. They're going to try it again. If she comes anywhere close to that 72 or 69, she beats this field. But definitely question marks abound for the two-tap and Josie.
Which is exactly why I left her off. I just want to see what's going on there before I put a little bit more faith in her. But also Tribal Queen, the excuse I also wanted to give her, the 8, is that she was, I don't think she was, clearly she was pulled up, but I don't think, she's not exactly bred. Sure, Harlan's Holiday on the dam sire side, but Baltimore only 10% on a wet dirt. So I'm giving her a little bit of an excuse that she doesn't seem to be a big off track kind of gal. So we'll see what happens there. So I took a stab 3-1 on the outside. But Keith, you go 4-2, 3-8 with blow through yellow lights for Titletown Racing, my team from Wisconsin. But let's go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right.
Titletown
Right.
is the area where Lambeau Field is and all the surrounding fun stuff around that. But let's go on to the nightcap here. This claiming 10,000, never win 2, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you've got the number 5 on top, which I was fighting with back and forth. Total effort. Horacio Duplass takes the blinkers off, gets Rodriguez on. We're talking second, first off of a big break.
Yeah, a little time to regroup, and I think just tinkering with things a little bit with these blinkers off. You look back 3 races back, sat just off the pace at a mile with a good enough figure. Close to a 60 is going to win this race by her figure. I think she's got the ability, or he's got the ability to do that, to come back to this race. 7/8 of a mile is a key too, because a couple of these other horses are going to be struggling to get that distance. I think they want to kind of go out but bring in a finish. So this could be a battle of attrition through the last 3/16 of a mile. I like the way Stronger Than Dex though ran last time. He improved second off the bench, very grudgingly late. He's going to be put into the race. You go with him maybe at your peril. So if he shakes free, he'll stay a long time, even at the 7/8 of a mile.
As well, here's hoping. You also include the number 1 10X, who I also include in my third selection. We both wrap things up with the number 4 Superstitious for Kenny Cox, J. Ron Barbosa. But that's going to wrap it up here for our Friday's card. And we will be seeing you tomorrow for our talk of the Winter Carnival board that we've got going on Saturday.
Yeah, good group of stakes. Looking forward to it. A bunch of talent. It will be on display. We talked about the rematches. Will Fiat Esprit kind of bounce back? And I'll talk about it tomorrow, how I thought that track played on the 30th of December. And I know some of the trainers took note of that. And we'll see, if some of these tables are turned in some of the races tomorrow, the Winter Carnival. So looking forward to that as well. Wyatt Ridgely, I know I didn't say hi. Your namesake's running today. So hopefully you're still on watching the show. See if you can pull a major upset this afternoon. But looking forward to this Friday card. I think this is a tough card. I think we're going to get some good payouts. Definitely spread races abound.
Well, you talked about the tables being turned. And speaking of that, let's head on over to Dave Rodman, also known as Marty, with the party for some changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.